Good morning. Hi, I am Stampin' Dee, and this is Stampin' Thursday, but it's Mystery Card Day. So I'm excited to do this. I enjoy the mystery cards because they give me an idea for other cards. So I use them as a template. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching. If you are watching this video live, please let me know. I really enjoy knowing who's watching, and if you're watching the replay, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it so much, and I always enjoy knowing who's watching the replay. So if you don't mind saying hi and put replay on there, then that would be great. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate my YouTube subscribers so much. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to know when I do a video, which is just once a week, you'll only get notified once a week. But click subscribe and click the bell, and you'll know then when one is coming on. So, if you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to help you out. I would love, I don't know what's happening. I got a call and I clicked stop and it stopped the whole thing. So anyway, thank you for being here. Let's do this video. Let's do this mystery card. And if you haven't gathered your supplies, the list is right here on the link for this, or it's on my webpage, my business page. So get these supplies together. It's all cardstock this time, and it's an easy card, but it really is different. So join me. All right, I'm gonna put this up on the stand, which is always a little scary because I don't want to disconnect you. So here we go. All right, here we are. Okay, so you can see the supplies that are right here. And while you're getting those together, I'm going to get you up on my computer screen so I can see what you see. My goodness. Let me bring this down a little bit so it's not quite so... All right. You know, every time I do this, it looks different. Every time it looks different. So, all right, here are your supplies. So this is what you need. By the way, be sure and holler if you're on so I can see who's watching. I love to know who's out there. All right. So the first thing you're going to need is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 piece of cardstock. And this is cardstock number 1. We've got 2 different kinds of cardstock here, 2 different colors. So this is cardstock 1, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I'm going to put that right there. I left a little bit of adhesive right there. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it and burnish it with my bone folder. All right, there's our card base. Then you need a second piece of cardstock in that same color, 4 by 5 1/4, and emboss it with an embossing folder, your favorite embossing folder, whatever that may be. Emboss it with that. And that's 4 by 5 1/4. All right. Now, for our second piece of cardstock, or our second color of cardstock, this is 4 1/4. I don't know if you've got a live signal or not. Mine does not show a live signal. All right. I don't know what's going on today. Weird stuff going on today. Okay. This is your second piece of this cardstock too, and it was approximately a 3-inch square. And I cut mine. You want it cut in a circle. And I cut mine with stylish shapes, with the largest stylish shapes. Then you also need a sentiment piece and a mat. And what did I put? 3 1/4 by 3/4 inch for the sentiment. Mine is smaller than that for this one. And then a mat that is 1/8 to 1/4 inch larger. And I used one of the dies from the stylish shapes again for my sentiment. And then you just need an image that's 2 to 3 inches tall, sort of in there. You can be the judge of that. And I chose an image from, I never can remember, I looked at it, Traditions of Christmas. So I have an image cut from Traditions of Christmas. And then I cut a few extra pieces from gold, from my gold foil paper. So I'm going to set those back over here. Like I said, this is a really easy card to make. Very easy. All right. So we're ready to go, right? The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move this away. Let me see if... All right. The first thing we're going to do is take this cardstock, this 4 1/4 by 1 1/2 piece of cardstock 2, and we're going to adhere it to the card front. So I'm just going to put my adhesive on here. And about halfway down. It's not an exact thing. About halfway down. You just want it to be straight. Get mine straight. There we go. All right. This is our card front that we're working on. All right. Next, we're going to take this circle and we're going to sort of position. This is the only cutting you need to do. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. And really, it doesn't matter how much you cut off. It sort of depends on your image. But I'm going to get my trimmer, and I'm just going to cut about that much off. Right there. Just all the way down. Just going to cut it off. Now, the next thing we're going to do is adhere our piece of embossed 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to adhere that down. I used the Retired Fern embossing folder because it was the most Christmassy one I had. And when you put this down, you'll see that your little strip sticks out just a little bit on each side. So I don't know if you're making this card with me. I don't want to get too far ahead. But so far, it's just been a matter of cutting this piece and then getting the rest down. Next, we're going to adhere this one, but we're going to do it, I'm going to do it with dimensionals. Now, one of my samples that I'll show you, I actually put the embossed piece down with dimensionals. So you can do it either way. But on this one, I'm going to put this piece down with dimensionals. And so I'll use dimensionals on my cinnamon piece too. Okay. So this is going down, and I'm going to center it on that little edge that's sticking out. I'm just going to center it right there. Easy, easy, easy. Now, wait a minute. If you're doing this with me, you know, I knew I wanted to use Pool Party because this Christmas tradition set, the color is Pool Party. So I wanted to use Pool Party, and I wasn't sure what color I wanted to use with it. So I grabbed my color wheel. I put Pool Party right in the middle, and it said I could use Balmy Blue or Coastal Cabana. So that's what I did. I used Balmy Blue. I'm often, because I'm not good with colors. I'm just not good with colors. And so I often pull this out and use it either to do complimentary or some of the others. So that's how I decided to use Balmy Blue. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is my image. And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it right there. So, and I want to do that. Let's see, I've done that with dimensionals. So I'm not going to do this with dimensionals. I don't want to get it too far up, too thick. So, but I'm going to do it with the white glue, the Tombow. And I'm only going to do it right here in the middle. So it's going to be right there. Now, if I wanted to put some of this down a little more, I could, but I'm not going to because I'm going to put my cinnamon piece. I don't want to cover up my bow. So my cinnamon piece is going to go a little higher this time. Normally, I think I would put it right down here somewhere. Right down here. But I don't want to cover up that bow. So I'm going to put it right there. And because this is popped up, I'm going to pop up this end of my cinnamon piece. But the rest I'm just going to glue down. This is the mat. I'm just doing the mat right now. Okay. And I'm going to put it just above that red bow. Just above that red bow. And my cinnamon, Merry Christmas, I embossed it with gold because I want to bring out the gold in now I probably am going to wish I had put some of these in before. Let's see, I've just got some of these. But I think I can still, I think I can put one right there. I'm going to get my little palette thing and lift this up just a little bit. So I can stick that under right there. And let's see, I really wanted to put one right down here. So I'm going to lift this up just a little bit so I can put one right there. All right. I'm going to stick this right under there. Right there. And maybe I'll stick another one right there. I do have a fourth one. I'm not sure I'll use that. I'll stick this one right there. Now, I do want to get this down. I'll put a little bit right there. I don't know if I need another one up here. Let's see what it looks like. Nah. You know, I really don't think it needs another one, and there's not room up here. I think that's good. I think that's good. All right, now I do have some twine. This is that gold twisted thread, and oh, it just comes right off of this. You know, it's got this red ribbon down here. I guess I could put a piece right up here. Let me see what that looks like. Let me get this. Look at, see how it's coming off. Oh my. Cut that off. And I'm gonna double it. This is going to be a small bow. So I didn't cut as much off as I probably should have. Okay. Come on. Come on, twine. This gold twine is a little harder to grab hold of, especially when you double it. But we're going to do it. There we go. All right, get that, pull this out. Okay, now we have a bow, and I'm going to cut this. I'll trim that off a little bit. Let's see where this could go. You know, it could go right there. It could go on the end of the sentiment. I kind of like that. I like that. All right, that's where it's going to go. All right, I'm going to grab a glue dot. Huh, that glue dot came off on the other side. All right, it's going to go right on the end of our sentiment piece. And then you would want to put, let me see if I've got a piece of white. You would want to put something inside. Yeah. So you would want to put, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, I could emboss the edge of this inside piece. And let me do that real quick, just to show you what that looks like. Let me see if I can find that folder, though. That may be the problem. The fern. Yeah, I'm not seeing. There it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I want it on the right side, so I'm just going to emboss the right edge of my inside piece. because there's no stamping, so I can't stamp anything inside. I could use a piece of this paper, but this really doesn't show what that paper looks like. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to run it through real quick. Just get this through real quick. Okay. And let's see how that turned out. Yeah. So see, my edge is going to reflect the edge of this. And I'm going to put it on the inside. There we go. Now, it's got that fern embossing on the inside and the fern embossing on the outside, and that is our card. Now, I told you it was easy. I told you it was, and it is, isn't it? I hope you did this. I hope you'll do this card. Here are the supplies again that you need for this card, and I'm going to put this away. Goodness gracious. All right. Now, I do have a couple of other samples to show you that I did. All right. Besides this one, isn't that pretty? I love those colors. Very subtle. Very subtle. And I love the touch of gold. All right, so there's this card. This is the first one that I did. And this is that cloud cover and Secret Sea. And I used the plaid embossing folder for this one. I don't know if you can see it or not. I did put gems on this one. I didn't put gems on this one. I think it's got enough. And this is from the Ornamental Christmas. And then I stamped from the Ornamental Christmas. All right, so there's that one. And then I decided to try a piece of Designer Series paper. So I put that right there, that piece under there. This is from the Christmas Tags and More paper. And it has these die cut, laser cut dies. And so I used the ornament from that. All right. Yeah. And here I embossed this edge. I did this with the pressed flowers. So, you know, and I think if you did the, maybe even the image with this paper too, with the pattern paper, just to bring a little more of it out. But anyway, I like that. I like that little bit of color peeping out there. All right. So those are the 3 cards that we did with these supplies. Simple cards. Using only cardstock, except for this one. Yeah. So I hope you'll give it a try. That's when I see a design that I really like or that looks unusual, you know, I try to turn it into a mystery card. And I thought this one, I especially like this one. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you'll use it. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And if you're on YouTube, thank you for being one of my special people, for being one of my subscribers and watching my YouTube videos. All right. I think we're done for today. That was a quick one. And we're going to have a lot of rain this weekend here in Texas. So we need it, and we're glad for it. All right. God bless. Take care.